I don't care if you're a WWE Hall of Famer or not. Who did you call a maggot? Not you! Not you! I said, who did you call a maggot? Not you, I promise! Hola, amigos, it's Will here from Will's Custom Figures, coming at you today with a big bad breakdown of BKB bare knuckle boxing champion Kevin Greenwood. So please guys, sit back and relax while I talk you through all the details of this figure and everything else in between. So first things first, why did I make him? Well, I'm going to do a little rotation while I'm telling you. Turns out old Kev over here is a little bit of a WWF retro Hasbro fanboy. He's got all the figures, he loves them, he's collected them over all the years, and he's always wanted his very own. And I'm lucky enough to have had the opportunity to work on making this custom figure for him, and what a treat it was to actually put together for him. So just as a little bit of an overview, I'm going to bring on a few wrestlers. You might have seen these guys once or twice before, a few Hall of Famers. Here's the Hot Rod, Rowdy Roddy Piper, and somebody you might have seen at the very start of the video. Here he is, old Sergeant Slaughter. Who did you call a maggot? Definitely not Kevin Greenwood. That's all I've got to say about that. As you can tell, that Kevin has been made using a Rick Martel WWE base. It's a cheaper version of using, of course, the Macho Man body. And I love that body for making MMA fighters, boxers, grapplers, all those kind of things, because he has some really, really cool looking, sort of a bit like a boxing looking pose with the arms. As you can see, both fists clenched. And as a bit of a comparison, just so you can see left to right, this is going to look so badass in Kev's collection. So on to some of some more of the details as to how I actually made this guy. As you can see, I've used paint and I've actually painted all of the wrist wraps that he wears for his bare knuckle boxing. And what a beast to be a bare knuckle boxer, by the way. Kudos to you, Kevin. Also, I've added on these shorts here. Now, it isn't just as simple as adding clay on top. He's got all the tassels, he's got all the frills, but more importantly, where have Rick Martel's boots gone? I'll tell you where they're gone. They've been Dremel drilled off. I've completely drilled off the boots and then used clay. I've started using, I've always used, especially for the faces and things like that, Super Sculpey clay. However, I've started using Milliput because Milliput clay actually air dries, whereas Super Sculpey I find better for doing smaller details like the face, the nose, the eyes, the ears, and everything else. And I've also used Procreate putty on the hair, so you can see there's a couple of hair strands just like this one here that stick off the head a little bit. Now that is Procreate putty. Normal putty, if you touch that and push it down, it would crack, but as you can see, it just springs straight back up. And yeah, if you look at my videos from 4 or 5 years ago, you ain't going to see any Milliput, and you're definitely not going to see any Procreate putty. So hopefully you like the comparisons with the Rick Martel base and some of the effort that's gone into making this figure truly what Kev had in his mind's eye as his ultimate version action figure of himself. So I've used Vallejo paints to paint the whole guy, and the skin colour has been painted with Citadel paints. Now, just a few stats. I want to bring on a few other comparisons. So here we have the Ultimate Warrior while I talk you through these. And I'm so proud. I almost swore I'm so proud of my custom Warlord that you can see there. So he's a Karate Nationals and World Champion. He boxes in the IBA, unlicensed boxing. He's had 25 fights undefeated. British champion, also a professional boxer. He's the International Masters champion. And he's the current British BKB champion as well. So this guy has accomplished a lot of stuff. And it's a true honour to be able to create his action figure for him. But do you know more than anything? I'm just going to move these out of the way now. He's a nice guy. Sorry, dodgy camera stuff there. But he's a really, really good guy. So it doesn't matter how much of a badass, you know, I've wrestled over the years. I've done a little bit of boxing over the years, done a little bit of kickboxing over the years. I've done a little bit of pro wrestling over the years. But man, to have stuck to something where you can call yourself a British champion, that is, you know, certainly something to be commended for and admired for. School photo time, Kev. Time to say cheese. Here we go. And do you know what? He has a cheeky smile. That's one thing I've got in this figure. If you look at the guy, you know, most MMA fighters, boxers, everything else, bare knuckle boxing fighters, you know, they're going to look very, very angry. But this guy, he's got a smile. He sent me some really, really cool pictures. He's growing his hair out, growing his beard out, and he wanted a nice little smile on there. And I'm really, really happy with how it's turned out because he doesn't look like he's mid fight. Maybe I end up doing a figure mid-fight with blood all over the knuckles and everything else. But there are some really nice details in there. So I've not got anything to point with, but you can probably see, here you go, found a pen. So you can just see here on the top of this eyebrow here, there is a scar. There's also one just underneath the eye. I actually used 2 different types of Citadel paints to get that. There's also quite a big scar underneath the chin. You can probably see there. And I've dry brushed on a lot of the little grey hairs that you can see there, just because he has got a couple of greys coming through. And really, really happy ultimately with how everything's turned out. Even the nice sort of material that's around the base of his waist, that's all from the Rick Martel figure. Now, you can see the tattoo work. I've hand painted all of that on, the little bits of writing. It's actually a dragon. I don't know if you can see. There's 2 teeth there, and the bottom teeth are there. There's the tongue. There's the eye just there. And then the dragon goes all the way across the back. Oh my God, how badass is that? And even underneath his traps as well. So really, really pleased with how that's turned out. You can see the little touches as well. Ella, Joe on the back. He's got all the sponsorships. Nice claws with blood dripping out from there. And he's got a mum on the front. Now, if I just lift him up so you can have a little bit of a closer up of the boots, you can see it's got, I believe, these Adidas boots. It's got all the nice little details on there. I'm not sure, is it Aesthetic Centre, this love heart here, some sponsorship, and then you've got, I can't read it, SCSG or something like that, CSR on the side here, and the tassels down the side. Do you know what it is? My missus did a Boohoo order, and some of her clothes had these tassels on them, so I just cut them into pieces and super glue on there. But yeah, as you can see, sorry, these boots are LY. I'm not sure what brand that is. Nice little cross there, and RSC. Not sure what that branded is, but yeah, there's some more details for you. There's writing. I think it says Kelly on the side of the arm there. And as I mentioned, guys, a figure I'm really, really proud of. So, final reflections. Here we go. Let's get him into perspective. So my final reflections, guys. Well, do you know what? He has been immortalised. That is what is important. A lot of people over the years have earned the right to be immortalised in action figure form. And, you know, it's my job single-handedly, one by one, to make all of their own figures, whether or not it's, you know, doing 3-minute warning like I did recently, Rosie and Jamal, whether or not it's working on some of the classics. I'm currently working on Barbarian, 2 different versions of him. I just want to make sure that some of the legends that are out there, whether or not it's Brody Lee, aka Luke Harper from WWE, you know, the people that have been taken too soon, getting the likes of, you know, Bray Wyatt, we have the Fiend character, all the different variants and versions of that, just in action figure form. Kev, with all of his contributions to entertaining people around the UK, around Britain, and around the world, I just want to make sure that he has his perfect figure in his collection. As you can see, moving the lights there, just so it looks like he's sort of doing his entrance a little bit. But that's what's next, guys. Please follow on Instagram, Facebook, or here on YouTube if you've been watching for 8.5 minutes now. I can't thank you enough. My name's Will. This is Will's Custom Figures. And guys, myself and Kev will catch you on the next one. Adios.